Hi, and welcome to Best in Tesla News, episode 92. Tesla's stock continue to climb, and Volkswagen is in a bit of a trouble. And EVs are still going up, and here in Europe it is exponential growth. But the car market is still going down. What does that tell you? And the competition is hurting the competition. And SpaceX is launching Skynet. All this and much more to come on today's episode. Start right in.
Let's put our living stereo stylus in this groove.
The Tesla stock continues to rise even higher. Actually, maybe this crazy 12-day climb is the biggest 12-day gain in the history of capital markets, since Tesla's market cap went up from about $818 billion to over $1.2 trillion in only a matter of days. It did take a little bit of a breather Wednesday, but then we're back at it again Thursday and climbed to all new highs. And South Korea, home of Kia and Hyundai, is loving Teslas and their stock. South Korean hold $12.1 billion in Tesla stocks, and as JPR007 wrote on Twitter, that represents $233 for every man, woman and child in the country. Crazy to think about, but yes, Tesla is a very popular stock, and if you also holding some Tesla stock, the last 2 weeks has been really fun. And maybe some of the news that made the stock go up again Tuesday was that Tesla's vehicles will be available for Uber drivers in London looking to buy all these a green vehicle through the company's Green Air plan. So not through Hertz but directly with Uber itself. I think we are starting to see a clear trend that the rental business is going electric as well. And as Alex wrote on Twitter, that a rental car industry expert said in 90% of all cases, interested customers ask about Tesla. Most customers want to try out what they have heard about Tesla, a very dynamic smartphone on wheels. Yes, I think most rental companies will follow in Hertz's footsteps because they want in and have a piece of the action, and Tesla is the only one that can deliver EVs at high volume, and they are the EV customers want to try, so you better have one in your portfolio. And normally this would be a bad thing for the automakers, because buying a fleet of 100,000 cars would normally come with a big discount, but Tesla again changes the game by not giving a single dollar in discount. Yes, people are really starting to see that Tesla is the only one that can keep up with the rising demand for EVs in every aspect of the transportation sector. Or they can't really keep up, but are the only one that can produce in high volumes. And they are the brand that most people want or want to try. And just look at this little Halloween prank where this guy is using the new feature on the Tesla where you can talk through the car with your Tesla app. These small children knows it is a Tesla.
Happy Halloween, kid.
That was a Tesla! Daddy, the Tesla's talking!
It's not Daddy, the car spoke. No, it's Daddy, the Tesla spoke. Just as I saw in my children's kindergarten, children as young as 4-year-old knew we were driving a Tesla, and that was a big deal. Wow, look, a Tesla. So yeah, maybe there are a few stubborn old farts out there that will never buy an EV. But all the young ones will, and Tesla is the name. Like I said last year, by the end of 2021, everyone will get it, and we are starting to see exactly that. And with more and more car rentals getting Teslas, more and more people will get it as well. Just like we saw Anthony on CNBC say.
I just got to give 30 seconds, and I drove the Tesla last night. Just a big heads up to every shorts. First time in a Tesla. The car is a spaceship, okay? I would get out of the way of Elon Musk if I were you. That would just be my personal opinion to people. You don't want to get in the way of a spaceship that's moving silently on the road. I would just point that out to the shorts.
Yep, don't bet against Elon Musk and just get out of the way. But just because the EV market is skyrocketing does not mean that the car market is doing well. Like in Germany in October, vehicle sales were down 34%. Ouch, that is a big drop, but Tesla did rise 482%. Wow, no wonder Volkswagen is afraid of Tesla and their new factory that is opening in their backyard. But Volkswagen is also in other troubles. The CEO Herbert position within the Volkswagen Group is at risk in view of weak quarterly result and BEV sales falling short of expectation and many other issues. But I really think it would be a really big mistake for Volkswagen to fire Diess. He is the one that seems to get the urgency of the transition to EVs and is not afraid to speak openly about it to the public and take the necessary action, even if that means fighting against the Volkswagen board. But if we take the semiconductor shortage into calculation as well, is Volkswagen really doing so bad that Volkswagen should fire Diess? The Q3 numbers for BEVs is up 109% to about 122,000. So that is not too bad, and year over year for the first 3 quarters for Volkswagen Group is up 138% with about 293,000 BEVs. This is pretty good numbers, right? Even in China, Volkswagen is starting to get a little momentum, and Volkswagen wrote themselves that they still expect to reach their target in China of 80 to 100,000 BEVs. They have sold in the first 3 quarters about 47,000 BEVs, so they are missing 30,000 to get to the low end of that target, but Volkswagen expects to deliver about 14,000 BEVs in China in just October, so it's looking like Volkswagen is finally getting some traction in China and will be able to get to their targets. They are also releasing the new ID.5 SUV in China that looks pretty similar to the ID.4 and the ID.6, so just nothing I'm really excited about. Also, when we look inside, it is just more of the same plastic screen, the same bad software. But anyway, the group did grow 3.3% over the first 9 months and have delivered 3.8 million vehicles. Of course, that's compared to 2020, the COVID year, where they were down over 15%, so still down compared to 2019 numbers. Maybe that is what Volkswagen is comparing to, because I know we pretty much see everywhere that the car sales are down and many blame it solo on the semiconductor shortage, but I really don't think these numbers will rise again, because as you can see with Volkswagen, their BEVs numbers are up 138%, so it is their ICE numbers that are falling short of expectation. But that is unfortunately something they will have to get used to. Their ICE sales will only go down from here on out. It will never rise again. As I made a whole video about some months back, the secret pent-up demand there is for EVs because people are holding back on buying new ICE cars, and also EVs because everyone knows more and better and cheaper EVs are just around the corner. So people don't want to buy an ICE car now that might be pretty hard to sell in a couple of years. So what the legacy automakers have to do is produce as many BEVs as they lose in ICE sales. But I think we will see over the next couple of years they will not be able to keep up with production of EVs to their quickly falling demand of ICE cars. So I know Volkswagen wanted to get to 10.5 million vehicles in 2021, but in that plan was also to increase their sales of their ICE cars. And I'm sorry, but this will just not happen anymore. They will just have to accept that if they want to get to 10.5 million cars sold, they have to increase their production of the EVs much faster than they're doing right now. Volkswagen themselves are even helping people to understand how dumb it is to buy one of their ICE cars compared to their BEVs. Volkswagen made this sheet showing that it is cheaper to own their EVs in true cost of ownership compared to an ICE version of a similar car. So yes, Volkswagen and the other legacy automakers, your ICE sales will only go down from here on out, and if you want to stay at the same size you are today, you have to make as many EVs as you are losing of ICE cars. So I don't think Diess is to blame for Volkswagen's weak sales. He is pushing Volkswagen as fast as he can towards EVs, but Volkswagen is a big ship to turn around, and more importantly, a lot of culture to turn around. They have been holding a lot of meetings with all of their many leaders, but very little action comes out of these meetings. They have just held 3 meetings over the last couple of months about how to catch up with Tesla, even inviting Elon Musk to speak at one of the meetings. But remember, it was almost a year ago that Volkswagen held another meeting with all the brightest minds in the Volkswagen Group where they launched their Mission T, how to catch up with Tesla. And 1 year later, they are still holding the same meetings. And Volkswagen is about to deliver about 430,000 BEVs in 2021, up about 200,000 year over year. And Tesla is about to deliver almost 900,000, up about 400,000. So Tesla will grow something like double the amount that Volkswagen will, even though Volkswagen still think they will catch up and has held many meetings on how to catch Tesla. Meanwhile, Tesla is just pulling away. Hope Volkswagen is waking up and starting to really listen to Herbert and not fire him. Yes, the ICE market will only go down and the EV market will only go up, as we can see pretty much everywhere here in Europe. For example, in October, Swedish plug-in vehicle market share remained over 50% for the second month in a row, gaining 50.9% share, up from 36.2% a year ago. BEVs alone took 22.9% of the market, that is up 2.8 times year over year. But again, the overall auto market volume was down 28.5% from last year. But it is even worse in the UK. The UK sales slumped to the lowest October level since 1991. Demand plummeted 25% as Audi, Volkswagen, Toyota all reported big declines. But once again, the EV market is up. In October, BEVs were up 73%. And Norway remains at almost 90% EV market share, even without Tesla here in October, because they have no more cars available in the country, all sold out in September. And October was down compared to September in Norway, about 5,000 EVs, but probably mainly due to Tesla's absence in October. But overall, the European BEV market is growing a lot this year, even with the semiconductor shortage and supply chain issues. As you can see here, we are already way past last year's sales and will probably end with something like 2.6 million instead of 1.7 million in 2020. And as you can see, we are looking at an exponential growth here. This is going to happen so much faster than many people think. But I did make a whole video about that. And all the EV competition that is coming is not good for the competition, it seems. And even though every short seller has been screaming about the competition for a decade now, well, we see something like the Renault Zoe that was a top seller last year here in Europe with 87,000 units, but year to date it has only sold 38,000 units. And the Renault Zoe sold about 102,000 globally in 2020, but it does not look like they will be able to sell much more than this year, even with all this rise in EVs, probably because of all the competition that has come to the market, not just because of semiconductor shortage. But Tesla is growing like crazy, also in Europe, even without a factory. Last year, Model 3 sold about 75,000 units for the entire year, but it has already sold over 80,000 units year to date here in 2021, even with the Model Y coming in. And globally, Tesla will add, as I said, something like 400,000 cars on top of what they did last year. So yeah, I guess that the competition is hurting the competition, not Tesla. And Audi is a good example of the legacy automaker strategy. Just like GM, they make a lot of different EV models so they can advertise all the time and show all the great new EV models that are coming out. Audi already has 10 EV models being sold here in Europe, but in total, so far in Europe, they have only delivered just under 30,000 EVs. 10 models, 30,000 EVs. Tesla's 4 models has delivered 92,000 so far here in Europe without any factory on the continent. It is not the amount of models you have, only the amount of units you sell. And we did see more people charging at the Tesla charging stations with their non-Teslas. And in this video we also see that if you pay the $13 subscription a month to Tesla, they will get the same rate as the Tesla owner. And with this charger he pays 0.57 euros, and any Tesla or non-Tesla owner with a subscription will only pay 0.24 euros. Again, about 43% saving, and the whole process looks to be very easy and the app works really well. And as this man with the Hyundai Ioniq 2 says, this is great.
This works great.
But maybe we will see in the future the new EVs coming from the competition all start to having the charge port be positioned just like Tesla. Because not all will be able to charge at a Tesla charger with the way their charging ports are positioned. This is of course not a Tesla problem. This is a non-Tesla driver problem. Yeah, just get a Tesla and you can buy it straight from Tesla's app. And if you haven't seen my latest video on why the opening of the Supercharger network is only a good thing and you might worry about it because you own a Tesla, well, you should definitely go check that video out. And Tesla took delivery of battery cell manufacturing equipment for Giga Texas. We saw boxes labeled anode line 1 and cathode line 1, so they are building the battery parts of the factory as we speak. Where in Germany they are still building the outer part of that battery factory, but Texas is getting ready to make the battery production line inside the factory. And meanwhile in Germany the Berlin factory is still on hold because of the so-called environmentally friendly organization that is in rediscussion again for objection against Giga Berlin. I don't think they understand the longer they hold back this factory, the more CO2 is blown into the air, and toxic gases from the ICE cars they are probably driving will kill even more people. We need this factory up and running as fast as possible. But I guess they are not really fighting for the environment, but just fighting against Tesla. But Tesla has been fighting from the very beginning against all the companies and industries that didn't want to see Tesla succeed, but Tesla is still around and kicking. And this will do nothing but delay Tesla in Berlin, but the outcome will be the same. Tesla will help us all to accelerate the transition to sustainable energy. And do you remember when the mainstream media talked about Tesla had to make a recall? But it was just a software update and it's all fixed. Tesla had to recall 11,700 of its US vehicles because of communication errors that may cause a false collision warning. But this was of course a software issue, so Tesla just made an over-the-air update and fixed the problem. Easy. They actually got the report of the error on the 24th of October in the morning, and by the evening the same day Tesla had already a software fix for the issue, and the next day they released the over-the-air update to the fleet. And more than 99.8% of the subject population, so all vehicles but 17, have already installed the new firmware. That is how fast Tesla can react and how convenient it is having a Tesla. Any software issues they can just fix over the air. But yes, I know when Porsche had a software issue they had to make a real recall. As I said before, they all say they can do over the air software update, but we still have to see someone doing it when it really matters. Just like Audi's e-tron will get a software update to get 20 kilometers more WLTP range. But if you think that Audi in 2021 can make a software update over the air, you better think again. The owners will need to take the e-tron to the dealership for these changes. This is getting pathetic. And speaking of software, Tesla of course has an over-the-air software update on its way, and this one with a lot of cool new stuff. Tesla recently began rolling out the new software 2021.40, which has many interesting features that will undoubtedly make the user experience more enjoyable. The company has introduced a new Tidal music stream option, so you will now have Spotify and Tidal. And the software update also brings improvement to vehicles' performance in cold weather. Tesla has optimized automatically battery precondition to consume less energy. In addition, you can now enable front defrosting and maintaining your climate settings when cleaning ice and snow. And the updated Model S and X have added the active road noise reduction, which uses the new microphones that enables active noise cancellation. And that is now being activated. I think this is such a cool feature. And traffic aware cruise control CHIM, which was previously launched in China, will now also be added to the rest of the fleet. And Lucid get its first Lucid Dream Edition out to happy customers. As I reported last Sunday, Lucid should have held their first delivery event that Saturday, and they did. congratulations Lucid on this big milestone. And Lucid did give a little shout out to Tesla on Twitter as they wrote, Lucid Motor and Tesla design, develop and manufacture their own electric vehicles, from batteries and motors to inverters, software and transmissions. No other manufacturer in the world does this. It's unique, and just for that, these two companies are invaluable. Know what you are investing in. True, but still, Lucid had only delivered 10 cars and has a market cap of $60 billion. And they still have the real test in front of them, and that is to scale up production. Many before has gotten this far and stumbled, so still a lot of work to be done, but keep in mind it took Tesla over 10 years to get profitable, so don't start screaming about them not being profitable every quarter for the next decade, please. Give them some time. We just need to see them go in the right direction. But as I said in the beginning of the year, they should have the cash on hand to get this going. When they went public, they got $4.4 billion in cash, but it still cost a lot of money to keep this going if they don't get production capacity ramped up as fast as possible. So the true test starts now. Good luck to you, Lucid. And SpaceX got a new order from the UK to launch Skynet. The United Kingdom Ministry of Defense awards SpaceX a contract to launch the military Skynet 6A communication satellites. And yes, it is not a joke, the name is Skynet, just like in the Terminator, but it's actually not named after the movie. Before the film was released, the real Skynet was operational for decades. The US deployed the first Skynet satellites in the 1960s. Still a little bit frightening though. And Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin's loses lawsuit against NASA over the Lunar Lander contract. No surprise here, but still nice to see justice against a company that is just trying to slow down SpaceX because they can't keep up. As Elon tweeted, "You have been judged." But I just got my Starlink dish, Digimat Flatface, yes sir, and I have never tried anything easier to set up than this. Yes, it is as easy as the instruction says, which is only these 3 steps. The whole damn thing is even already plugged correctly in. All you have to do is plug it into the power outlet and point it at the sky and open the app. And 2 minutes later I had satellite internet. Damn, that's cool. I will keep you posted on how it all works, but right now everything seems to be working fine with a speed between 50 and 100 megabits per second. So nothing super fast yet, but just remember, this will only continue to go up and not stop until it hits about 10,000 megabits per second. And let's squeeze in the last short news topics into this news show. Yes, it's time for the Tesla Shorts. And in this week, 13 years ago, on the 3rd of November 2008 to be exact, on my birthday, Tesla secured a $40 million loan from investors. And here we are today, the most valuable car company on the planet, worth over $1.2 trillion. What a journey. And according to Green the Only, full self-driving will be coming to China before it comes to Europe. And the Model S and X are piling up at Fremont. Could be a very good quarter for Tesla's high-end cars here in Q4. But I think Q4 will be a very good quarter altogether. Just look at these cars piling up at the Shanghai factory. I don't think I have ever seen so many cars piling up at the parking lot before. And just look at all these trucks starting to line up to get all these cars out to customers. And speaking of the Model X, new EPA documents reveal the main powertrain upgrades that Tesla applied to the new Model X will bring higher battery energy density and more powerful motors. Yes, please. And Tesla is making a significant upgrade to its solar roof with the new, more powerful solar tiles. With more efficient solar cells, Tesla managed to maintain the same tile size with 22% increase in the max power output, up from 58.5 watts to 71.67 watts. Nice. And in the Netherlands we had another hydrogen explosion. This time it was not a hydrogen station, but a hydrogen bus that exploded in its first night at the depot, destroying both itself, another bus, and the depot. Guys, let's just go all in on EVs, right? And Gordon Johnson is out saying that it is highly likely that Tesla will do a stock split. Well, that doesn't make sense, Gordon, if the stock is going down to your prediction of just $67 anyway. Well, if they do 1-to-18 split, Gordon will be right. The stock will be $67. But you all know, Gordon is a moron. Gordon is a moron. Or at least Gordon is a poor man. Remember, when the stock actually were $67 post-split adjusted, he still had a selling rate because he has only had a sell rate on Tesla. So he is down about $1,200 per share if he had been shorting the stock this whole time as he has been preaching. So yeah, no wonder TipRank has him as one of the worst analysts out there. Because he is. Couldn't be more wrong even if he tried. And just to keep the rumor going of Tesla and India, well, a Tesla Model Y was spotted in Manali in North India, probably to do some high altitude and cold weather testing. Nice. And Tesla launched a new financial leasing product to buy cars with zero down payment in China only. It looks almost like a normal leasing program until you try to pick the down payment, and there you have a choice to pick $0 down and pay off over 12 to 60 months. But Tesla later changed this because the interest for this was just off the charts. So Tesla would not have a chance to keep up with this crazy demand, so they changed it to 10% down. And Elon did confirm on Twitter that in the future, any Tesla you use will automatically sync to your preference. This is so cool. It will be a big con for renting a Tesla whenever you need to rent a car, right? And Tesla has secured a lithium supply contract with Ganfeng Lithium, the world's largest producer of battery-grade lithium. They signed a 3-year supply agreement with Tesla. Yes, Tesla is not just buying batteries from CATL, LG Chem and so on. No, Tesla is going straight to the mining companies to get as much materials as possible for their own battery production. And we saw a new behind-the-scene videos from Tesla Canada about their team working on Tesla's battery technology. Def Don and his team in Canada has a contract with Tesla until 2026 to work on battery research. Long time since we have heard anything from them, but not many days after, Mayor of Markham in Canada wrote on Twitter that Tesla is opening a new manufacturing facility in Markham. The new facility will produce state-of-the-art manufacturing equipment that will be used to produce batteries at the company's gigafactories. Nice. And if you remember back a year ago or so, I joined Team Trees, donating $100 to plant 100 trees to their cause of planting 20 million trees. And that project is still sprinting along, but now Mr. Beast and Mark Rober has launched a new campaign called Team Seas, where they will clean up 30 million pounds of trash from the ocean. Very cool project that is very well underway. They have already got over $12.5 million in donation, and again, every dollar donated will remove 1 pound of trash. I of course also joined the little team and donated $100 to remove 100 pounds of trash. I hope some of you that can afford it will consider donating as well, even just $1. Everything helps. I will leave links to everything down below, including Team C's video and more. Go check it out. And before we end off with a bit of fun, I just want to make a quick shout out to my newest members and patrons of this YouTube channel. Don Horson, Sub-Zero TX, Eric Johnson, Elliot, Ole Dalman Hansen, Mark Rogerson, Patrick Mullins, Media Cafe Online, Jacqueline Joseph, Keith Klima, JD and John. And I thank you for watching, members: Qualdwell, Anton Sterenborg, Mark Gottesman, Jerry Siemens, John Pichetti and Sten Andersen. Thank you so much for all your support. I am doing this all by myself, but you guys are all the producers of this news show. Thank you. And a special thanks to the supporter of the week. And this week's supporter is Mark Andrew Harman. Mark has been a patron supporter of mine since September 2020 and has been sending me a lot of great stuff and information through the year. So I would like to take this chance to give a special thank you to you, Mark. Thank you so much for your support, and don't forget to go into the merch store and find the t-shirt of your choice. I will contact you for details on Patrons. And let's end off with a bit of fun. Let's have a little look at the plaid acceleration, because it's not for everyone.
3, 2, 1.
Yes! Yes! I want to. Yes! I'm gonna piss myself, you motherfucker! Oh my god! I can't just throw up. I ain't doing this no more. Don't buy no more motherfucking course that I gotta be in for this.
We went 130.
Huh? Oh.
That is all we have time for in this news show. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button. It really helps this video out a lot. And if you did like it, maybe you want to consider hitting that subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos just like this one. If you're already a subscriber, thank you so much for your support, and if you want to support the channel even more, remember you can, for as little as $1, become a patron of this channel and get your shout out on this show. You can also become a member of the YouTube channel to get a shout out and some extra perks. Hit the members button to find out more. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter. I tweet all the news as it comes out and more. And check out the merch store to get some merchandise and support the show. Now it's also possible to support the show without buying anything, becoming a member or a patron. There is a link to a donation options in the show notes. But going forward, I will be making more videos for patrons and members only. And I will give my YouTube members and patrons early access to my videos whenever possible, and make my videos ads free for members and patrons only. So don't miss out. And thank you for watching. And until next time, take care out there and be nice.